Sup, dude?
What's going on?
So
Did you catch my Wayne's World?
I did. Dude, we talked about that before.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
So
Buttons.
this is you do sew buttons. Episode 5.
Episode 5, we made it. We got over that 4.
That's what I was
That
gonna bring
producer
up.
Nate said, no,
We
you
might
never make it.
I'm sorry.
made it.
I'm sorry,
We made
Nate. Nate, you know I love you, but we might have to talk about Nate because he just bought a new car.
Nate, I don't know you, so
And
hi.
today, car talk.
It is. It's all about, as I said in the little short type of thing.
I didn't get the second short done.
Cars, automobiles, horseless carriages, that type of thing, which is great because this is right up your alley. It's not up my alley at all. And what's cool about it is, I was thinking about it, is it comes from, we'll just say like the salesman, professional, customer side. So which I hope helps all yins, you guys.
Why should you tune in? If you're not a car person, we're going to talk about buying new, buying used, fun car stories. You don't have to be a car person to have fun car stories.
No, you don't.
I want to talk about all of the things that are fun about vehicles and a lot of the things that as a person you probably don't know, but you need to know.
Yeah. I'm interested in one of the things that you and I talked about was like used car.
Yeah.
Not so much difference between new and used. I don't want to use that word, but buying a used car versus buying a new car.
Do you know?
And the technology part of everything, because I'm not a fan of it. It just, I think we're progressing too fast with too much technology. And I've seen the sci-fi movies where this does not end well for humanity.
It already is there, and we'll get into that. But do you know what the average cost of a brand new vehicle is now?
It's got to be around 40,000.
50.
I was close.
50. You were close. I mean, I remember I bought a. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start with the welcome. We already did that.
Yeah, we did that.
And
so let's just jump into it. What do you say? What was your first car?
So it's not a simple question as a car person because I would say my first car was a 1997 Ford Mustang.
Okay.
But if I said that to a car person, I would have to say my first car was a 1997 V6 automatic Mustang because it's totally different.
It is, because I remember that you had that stick shift and you had everything else, which people were,
Do you know
divided.
One of the reasons why my first car was a Mustang?
I don't.
Well,
Is it? No, go ahead.
I liked the history of the 1960 Ford versus Ferrari, which I've talked about that movie a couple times on here.
Yeah.
But also, shout out to Morgan, The Outsiders.
There you go, kiddo.
I like, Mustangs in
Mustangs
there.
are tough.
That's
what he says. What Johnny said. Mustangs
are tough.
Yeah.
And, the 97, it was a good-looking car at the time.
Yeah, it was cool.
My brother, I won't forget it, he had a Z24 Cavalier convertible. And like the Cavalier's when you're a car person, it's a Cavalier, but everybody loved it because it was a convertible. And
My buddy Tony had a Chrysler LeBaron convertible. That was neat. My wife had a Chrysler Sebring.
Nice.
And she loved that car. Man, that car was cool. We went to Lowe's Motor Speedway in that the whole way down. It was cool. It was fun.
In the car world, the Chrysler Sebring, uncool.
Don't care.
Yeah, you don't care because that's the beautiful thing about not being a car person is it doesn't matter.
Right. And you know what? It's like, okay, so I look at vehicles the same way I can say about like adults and alcohol. Someone mentions, White Claw. They're like, oh, come on. Yeah, but have you ever worked in the yard and sweating your butt off and next thing you know, the only thing in the fridge is a White Claw and you grab one and it's a lime one and you drink it and you're like, oh my gosh, why was that good? Yeah,
So,
done there. Been there, done it. But it's
bro-
the same thing. It's different tastes for different people, and it's the same with cars. It has to be.
Right.
I know it is with me anyways.
Right. So you talked about your first car in the teaser, but tell us about your first car.
1983 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Yeah, buddy.
That hood was about a mile long. If you wanted to work on it, you pop that hood, you can go climb inside it.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. And it had like that velvety type soft interior, that front bench seat, which I had mentioned in the video. The person that decided to get rid of the bench seats, just saying, pretty girls and good dogs.
That's what you said?
That's it. If you know, you know. But that was a great car. It was fantastic. It was rear-wheel drive. So in Pittsburgh here in the snow, it sucked. But I love that thing. I went to Ocean City in it. I went to a bunch of places in it, and it just was comfortable. And I think the reason for me is it was so comfortable was my mom had a Grand Prix, and it was like a two-tone green type of thing, but it was almost the same year, almost the same model, almost the same thing. So it felt the same. So when I would get in it, it was just like, just getting into something that I've had pretty much my whole life. But it was fantastic.
So I can't change the topic just yet because my Mustang, it was my car and it was my mom's car. We shared it. So like the one that I really consider my first real car was a 1988 Mazda RX-7. It was the first car I bought myself. Now in between that, I had it was a 2002 Kawasaki Ninja 250, which was a motorcycle that, that was my first taste of like, I don't have to share this.
The Kawasaki Ninjas back in the day, that's all you heard about. That's all anybody wanted was, Ninja.
It was a good bike, but, for a first bike too, like it was cool. It wasn't, you weren't going to get in trouble on it, but I bought this 1988 RX-7 and it was a stick shift. And I didn't know how to drive it. I was probably like 20, 21 at the time. So I had to have the guy that I bought it off of drive it home for me. my buddy Matt calls. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go to a party tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll pick you up. I got the RX-7 today." He's like, "Can you drive?" I'm like, "No, we'll figure it out." And I took it out and we did. We drove it. I drove it all night and we figured out how to drive it. But knowing how to drive a motorcycle was a step ahead because it was a clutch.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. The RX-7. See, I am not such a car guy that if you would have asked me, when do I think Mazda car brands were in the U.S., I would have said like late 90s, 2000s. When you just said 88, I was like, in my head, I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mazda was selling RX-7s in the U.S. and 78 was the first year for the RX-7.
Okay, so speaking of that, you going to buy that and having the guy drive it home, which I know somebody who actually did that with a Harley. Nice. They went out and bought a Harley and she couldn't drive it. So she called her dad. And her dad's like, "Yeah, I'm not home." So she had to call people to go to find it. And the guy's like, "Look, I'll just drive it to your place."
Yeah.
But
he wanted to sell.
Oh, it was hilarious. I laughed pretty good about that one. But so he drives it to your place. And then you take it out. So now you obviously you have your license and all that stuff. But how did that feel? How did that feel driving? Obviously you have the nervous part of it.
Yeah.
But you had to have that smile, that excitement,
so like is it
sort of oh my gosh, let's go.
Even back then, like as a car guy, you have to know how to drive a stick. It's the golden rule. If you're a car guy, you need to know it. And those of you who are car people, you know what I'm talking about. So like this was finally the chance where
my buddy Sean's shaking his head right now. Going, yeah.
Yep. An RX-7, I mean, it's one of that was a second gen. So it's like, it wasn't the holy grail. I have a third gen now, which is the holy grail of not only Mazdas, but it's what they consider, they call them hero cars.
Okay.
So it's my generation's Yanko Camaro or Shelby Mustang or Shelby Cobra. And that first dip into that rotary engine car with that 1988 RX-7 is what kind of locked me into becoming a Mazda technician and doing all that. Because at the same time, nobody in my family were mechanics. And if you own one of those cars, you need to be a mechanic. So I bought a Haynes manual for it for X amount of dollars, and I did all the work on it myself with no training, no experience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You read my mind. Go ahead.
It was just cool. And since then, I've owned 4 second-gen RX-7s. I own my 3rd-gen RX-7. I've had a Mazda Speed 6, Mazda Miata, Mazda 3. My wife's had a Mazda CX-5.
Okay.
I was a Mazda tech. We'll probably get into that a little more. But I don't think there's a lot of Mazda people. You know, you can run down the street and you see a guy with a Chevy shirt on, or a Ford shirt, or a Ram shirt, or whatever. But there's not a lot of Mazda guys. But Mazda,
Yeah, you don't see that. You don't see, the whole.
there's a
Like you said, the T-shirts.
yeah. There's a in the world of racing, there's a statement that's made that any question you have about racing, the answer is Miata.
Right. Right.
And I mean, there's a million of you out there will argue that with me. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You read that? All right.
Yeah, I did. So, like, for real though, Mazda.
Yeah.
Change.
I see a lot more of them. SUVs.
Yeah.
SUV Mazdas.
Well,
nowadays.
SUVs.
Small,
everywhere.
compact. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah.
They're not.
We're going to talk about it.
Cool.
We're going to talk about it.
That's exciting.
So, talking about it.
Yeah.
Want to move on?
Yeah. Move on.
All right. So, license.
That's what we were going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. License. I remember. I remember when I first got my license.
I think not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but in life we have to cut you off. In life, I think, like, I look at it as stages almost and milestones, and getting your driver's license is one of those chapter milestones. 21, getting married, having a family. But I think the first real big, huge milestone is getting your license.
Yeah. I didn't get my license when I was 16. I don't even remember how old I was, but it was not 16. And I was kind of fine with it. And my mom and my girlfriend at the time were like, "You're getting your license." Like, we drive.
They had enough.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I remember it was summertime. And back then, we didn't have all these driving instructors and all these different things. You went down to the state police station, you signed your papers, you waited in line, and next thing you know, it was, here you go. You drove around the course and you did your thing, and, the cop either tells you, you're good to go, or, yeah, no, turn it off, you're not. That was it. And I remember that feeling, it was fantastic. And, we drove home, and I got to drive the car by myself. I still remember where I went, and I didn't go far, but I was by myself, and I had that radio cranked, just like now, But it was such a wow type of feeling. It was like you kind of smiled the whole time, and then after that, you realize that, man, this sucks. For me, I hate driving. I do. I drive everywhere, and I can't go like 3 miles without someone pulling me. 5 o'clock in the morning, literally, I have headlights on my car, and what happens? People pull out right in front of me. Like, literally. I don't understand why, but that's one of the reasons I never got a motorcycle, was I was going to get one. And I'm like, people pull out in front of my work truck. And I had a Hemi crew cab Dodge, 3/4 ton. And people would pull out right in front of me. And I'm like, if they can't see that thing coming, my clock is ticking if I, get a motorcycle. And that thought scared the crap out of me to where I was like, no, I don't want that. And even driving now, it's like, oh, I just drove to Minneapolis. It's 15 hours. We stopped. But on the way there we stopped. But that's a story for another moment. But go ahead.
Yeah, so same. I didn't get my license when I was 16 because of the dyslexia. I could not pass my written test.
Oh, yeah.
I could not pass it.
I never thought of that.
So, eventually I found out that they had one where you could put headphones on and it would read to you.
Oh,
So I did that, and I got 100%. Passed my test, and then I'll never forget my actual road test after, you get your permit. And
Now, did you have to go on the road?
Yeah.
See,
Well,
I didn't
not for my permit.
No, I mean, even for my test, I didn't have to. I went to Allegheny River Boulevard, off of there, the state police station. They had their own course. It was a road, but they had their own course.
No,
that's where I went.
We had to go on the road. And, you're nervous because it took me forever to pass my written test. And the guy's like, all right, there's a fence there. I want you to turn after it. So I did, but he wanted me to turn at a road. I turned onto an alley road, like the very first turn after it. He's like, that's not the road that I wanted you to go down. So we're down this tight road, and I'm just a kid. I'm going to fail. It's not very good. I'm kind of distressed and upset, and he's mad at me now. And, I'm driving, and all of a sudden this soccer ball comes flying out between two cars, and a kid books right in front of me, and I stopped, and I missed him. And he's like, that was actually really, really good. So he passed me because I didn't kill the kid. I wonder what would have happened if I did kill the kid.
I don't think you would have passed.
No, I don't
think you would. I think it would have been just get out of the car.
Yeah, he's like, you do a really good job paying attention, and I didn't realize that there was another road there, and you saw it and you turned down it. So he's like, that was my bad, and this was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was good. And then getting my motorcycle license was just a whole other. I like motorcycles more than cars, but they're dangerous.
Yeah,
I took a safety course. So to get your back then, I don't know if it's changed, but back in 2002, you'd go to the DMV, you'd pay them $10, and they would give you a motorcycle permit. No test, no nothing. You just get a motorcycle permit and be like, don't die. And if you took the safety course, if you passed the safety course, you got your license. So you didn't even have to go take a safety test. So I passed that, and it was good. And that course is designed, if you fail, really you shouldn't be riding a motorcycle. So
this is why I don't take that course. No.
If you do want to ride a motorcycle, I do highly recommend the safety course.
Yeah.
Also, drop it in the comments your first car and what getting your license meant to you. But for me, it was that freedom that I was finally looking for. Because as a middle child, you're kind of like, you're just bouncing between what your older brother and your little brother want to do all the time. So as a middle child, and I was a car person, even back then, just before the RX-7, I was a car person. I loved the race. I loved watching racing and racing stories, and I was thinking about it the other day, where my love for cars came. Do you want to hear it?
I do.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
The bike!
Yeah.
Like,
that was a bike.
It doesn't matter.
I thought you were going to say Steve McQueen.
I loved Steve McQueen, but Pee-wee's bike was the first time, Steve, he's racing race cars, and you have Bullet. But when the garage door opens for the first time, and there's this bicycle totally modded out, like with the big, it had the lion on it. He's cleaning the teeth, like the saddlebags on the back. That was the first time I was like, you can really take something and make it you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was the moment where I was like, I was bitten on not just transportation, but like making it who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had to think back to when I, as a kid, when I first noticed, cars, that's easy. Smokey and the Bandit. I mean,
the Trans Am?
Well, it was the rig first, because that's the opening scene. Yeah. You got that rig, and then, all of a sudden he pulls in and pops that back end up, and that 77 Trans Am comes out, and it is just boom, there it is. And then in the same era, you had the General Lee. So you had all the, you had these muscle cars, and, being born in the 70s, I was still able to watch reruns of older movies, 60s and 50s and even 40s. They weren't that old. So I have this appreciation for these older vehicles
Yeah.
that I don't have for the new ones, that I have for the old ones. And, you know,
And I think this, like the 70s was a really rough year. The 70s and 80s were rough for automobiles. So
except for trucks, they had them big square bodies and what else? Bench seat.
bench seat.
There you go.
Yep, yep. But like, I don't necessarily mean performance wise.
Yeah.
Like you weren't, because everyone, gas was horrendous, and so the 60s cars, like even through the 70s and 80s, kind of like where I'm at now with modern cars, those cars from when I was younger, because these modern cars are getting so crazy and way ahead of where they need to be, it's kind of like, you know what, let's focus on these old things. I mean, man, they were cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, talking to that, what is your favorite car that you have owned? And I think I know what this is, but
Well, so like the obvious answer is the current RX-7, my 93 FD.
I knew that, but there was another one.
My Continental, my daily driver right now, 2017 Lincoln Continental. Some people would argue with me that it's not cool, but for the money you can buy one of these for right now, you will not get anything better. Especially if you get the 2.7. The 3 liter, stay away from the 3 liter, but the 2.7, that motor's gold.
Okay.
What about
Why?
yours? It's solid. I was talking to my buddy Lou, the mechanic, the other day about it, and his explanation was Ford accidentally built a good motor, because they're not known for building good motors anymore, but nobody is. Like,
I know.
nobody
Yeah.
is. Chevy guys, guess what? Your Silverados right now, 10,000 miles and you're spinning main bearings.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite vehicle that I have owned would probably be my maroon quad cab Dodge Ram. Loved that truck. When I bought it, it had a leveler on it, and
What was it that you loved?
just that truck. Just that, there was something about that truck that I've had other trucks since then. That one, or, well, I'll throw this one out there. Maybe this one a little bit more, was my 92 Ford Bronco. Had a hard top on it.
Love a Bronco.
Oh man, that would be.
It's a shame you can't afford a new one. Nobody can.
I don't want a new one. There's no way I would buy a new one.
Nope.
If it's not, 92 and back, I wouldn't want one, because that truck, I mean, it got me through snowstorms, a lot of good memories with that thing, but, those two vehicles were absolutely fantastic. I love them. And especially the Bronco. Those seats folded down. You had a queen bed, basically.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you go camping and people are like, "Oh, I got a tent." I'm like, "Yeah, I got a truck." You can keep your tent.
So my
Like, I don't
my
care.
second gen RX-7, it was a 2-seater, but it had this huge hatchback trunk, and you could lay in it, and you had a big glass
Oh, that's
window.
cool.
It was cool.
I did not know that.
They wouldn't promote you laying in it, and because I'm small, I could lay in it, but
Right.
anybody with a gut wouldn't have been able to lay in it.
Hey, that happens.
Yeah.
You know. So this is going to be my favorite question, because I actually made a list.
Oh,
Because, like as I brought up, with
I think I need a list
with
too.
with movies, because I watch a lot of old
Right.
movies and stuff like that. There's certain things that pop out about those movies. So, dream cars. Let's go with the ones that we can't afford. Let's talk about that one first. Let's go to those ones that are just like, oh man, that's so
Never
cool.
gonna have it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Come on. There's got to be one or two out there or more.
1962 GTO. Not a Pontiac, the real GTO.
Okay.
Ferrari. 1962.
I did not know that was not a Pontiac.
That's why I hate the Pontiac GTO, because they named that car after the Ferrari, but the Ferrari was just so good. And if I remember correctly, it is literally considered an actual piece of art now. But I mean,
That's cool.
10, 15 years ago, they were selling at auction for $38 million. I haven't checked
That's
now,
crazy.
but you can imagine like now they're probably 40, 50 million for a 1962 Ferrari
Wow.
GTO. But and that's the problem. Like let's say I won the lottery and I hit for $1 billion. Would I buy it and drive it to the ground? Probably. Probably.
You would, yes.
I would, yeah.
would.
Yeah, like
The only vehicle on my list, there's two.
I have 1,000 of them.
Well, there's two on my list that I would drive into the ground. I'll say that. You know. So what's another one?
Ford GT40 Mark 1 or Mark II. I'm not picky.
Yeah.
The Le Mans Ford versus Ferrari car. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 1968 Shelby GT350.
Okay.
That's on the list. McLaren P1. That's on the list. Oh, I love me a McLaren P1. Orange and black.
A lot different than my list. I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
Shelby Daytona Continental.
Okay.
I'd be happy with a factory 5 kit car. I'll leave it at that because I could go on all day.
Yeah.
1993 Mazda RX-7, but that's in the garage.
There it is. All right, so this is, you're going to know this one because I sent you a picture of it from Minnesota. The 1933 Ford V8 four-door sedan.
Yep.
Yep. One John Dillinger drove. Getaway car.
Yeah.
Those things were nuts. 1940s Packard. I mean, come on. That's my my love of Humphrey Bogart.
Right.
You know, you got that big swoop down the side. Love them. You'll know this, and a lot of you will figure this out because it's not really a 50s automobile. They took a lot of 30s and 40s cars and souped them up. But would be the 50s rockabilly hot rods.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I've ever talked about it, but that whole rockabilly scene, the music,
You
the
haven't.
look, I love it like you would not believe. I don't have the certain facial features or whichever you want to call it to pull off that hairstyle that, but man, I mean, the whole rockabilly thing, I love it like you wouldn't believe. The 77 Pontiac Firebird, Smokey and the Bandit, that one definitely. And keeping from the 70s, the 1979 Ferrari from Magnum PI, because it's me.
It's one of the worst
You know?
Ferraris.
I don't care. Don't care. It's Magnum.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. It's Magnum. Where do you think my love for Hawaiian shirts came from? Magnum. There you go. Grew up watching that.
I mean, when it comes to Ferraris, that's another one on my list. A 360 gated shifter hardtop Ferrari. No convertibles. No convertibles. And I'm going to have to go with the 1987 Dodge Ram. Square body. Bench seat. But only if I can custom out to where I want it. But that's my quick list. And an El Camino. I had a buddy with an El Camino.
They're cool.
So
They're fun.
my Del Sol, we've always joked about taking the trunk lid off of it because I have the inside of the trunk rhino like bed liner and calling it the Del Camino.
There you go. I like it. So,
yeah.
All right. Well,
pop it in the comments. What's your favorite trunk?
Yeah, please. We would love some more comments, especially with this topic because we pretty much all drive. What do you like driving? What do you drive? I know what I drive. Is it the best thing in the world? No. Does it get me to point A to point B with really good gas mileage? Yes, it does.
Unlike you, I love driving. That's the one thing I love the most about my job. And I was thinking about it. How many miles have I driven in my life so far? And if it isn't, I was adding up all the mileage of the cars that I've had. And if I'm not over, I am very close to 1 million.
I'm not shocked at that because I know how much you've driven with your job.
And every time I do it, like my favorite part of vacation is the road trip. If we're going to the beach and we have a 8, 9, 10, 12-hour drive, I'm like, the longer the better.
When it comes to road trips, I don't mind the drive. I do mind pulling into major cities, though.
Yeah.
If you would have seen my face pulling into Minneapolis, I don't know anything about Minneapolis. It's huge. It's huge. If anybody's been there, if anybody's from there. Holy cow. I mean, you got apartment buildings that are very luxurious, and they are awesome looking. They're like 30 stories high, and they're everywhere. The whole place is absolutely insane. I don't like it. It's a city. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Even Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's this big. This is a normal city, this table, and like this is Pittsburgh. I still hate it.
Yeah.
So
Where are we at?
we're at that point.
What's on the table?
Go ahead. You go first, Egon.
So
What he's going to show you, the reason I called him Egon, is Ghostbusters. This thing.
Well, I'm not showing that thing for this part.
Oh.
I'm showing
He's going that thing.
this thing.
Okay.
For
Sorry.
So that
I
thing.
retract my Egon.
Nobody
statement.
watching is ever going to buy that thing.
I still don't know what it is.
But we
I
will
just know
talk
it's
about
there.
that thing. But right now, we're talking about this thing. This thing is my Blue Driver. I bought it off of Amazon.
Blue Driver.
Blue Driver.
Blue Driver.
I wanted to stay car themed. Everybody should get something like this. It is a OBD2
A what?
code reader. It's just you plug it into the diagnostic port of your car. So let's say you don't know anything about cars and you're on a 12-hour road trip, right?
Okay.
And your check engine light comes on.
Is this like remember I stopped over a few years ago at my Jeep because all at once it just started. It was like
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
you buy one of these. It's Bluetooth. It talks to your phone. So you plug this into the port. Now, every manufacturer's OBD2 port is in a different location, but according to the government, it needs to be visible to a technician in a crouched position on the driver's side. Sometimes you can find it in the fuse box. Usually it's just right underneath the steering column under your dashboard. Plug looks like that. You plug that into your car, connect it to your phone. It will scan and tell you what the codes are.
Okay.
Now, most people aren't going to know what those codes mean. It will give you a breakdown of what the code means or give you the opportunity to Google it. So then you will be able to know, is my car safe to drive? Is it not safe to drive? My normal recommendation is if the car's running fine and your check engine light is on, it's safe to drive. If your car is running rough and your check engine light is on, you better check it out. If your check engine light is flashing, that means you have multiple misfires and you will destroy your exhaust system. You can wash oil off of the cylinder walls, so don't drive it if your engine light's flashing. But when you're on vacation, something like this, or even to just take a quick code check, if your engine light comes on and you're going to take it to the shop, you can scan it yourself to know what those codes are. Usually, if it's an engine code, you'll see something to the extent of P01, yada, yada, yada. P0s are generally your powertrain codes.
Okay.
Other codes will have different designations. It will tell you generally like transmission slipping or this and that.
How much does something like that run?
$100.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, as opposed to...
Going to a mechanic and them saying something, and then all of a sudden you're spending $1,200.
And most of the time, in my experience, your mechanics are guessing.
Yeah.
And this will tie into when we talk about customer service. But this is fantastic to have. And I recommend everybody have something like this to just throw in your glove box.
That is pretty cool.
Blue Driver.
Blue Driver. You're going to have to remind me of that because, I drive everywhere.
Great. Vacations, wherever you're going. It will clear codes. It will read them, clear them, give you some potential freeze frame data. You wouldn't need that, but for me as a technician, the freeze frame data is what was happening in the car when this happened. Was it low RPM, high RPM? Was it reading that the wheel speed sensors were slipping? Whatever. I can look at a bunch of different data, battery voltage,
Okay.
and determine maybe the battery kicked out at a specific time. I lost battery voltage. All these lights came on at that point.
Huh.
All different kinds of stuff.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, I only have one. Well, I got two. But since we're talking about cars and driving, everywhere.
Tarkila?
Yeah, I was going to say. So, what should you not do before driving?
Drink.
You should not drink alcohol.
Do not
Consume
drink and drive.
adult beverages. But, so, my choice is whiteout tequila. So, I saw this.
Is that all white?
It is 100% perfectly clear, brother.
That is all white to me.
It is fantastic. So I saw the tag at the wine and spirit store, and it said 100% additive free, which caught my attention like that because they did not have my Ocho, which is like one of the purest to buy. So I figured, yeah, I'll try it. You know, tried it. I was so happy with it because this isn't a normal bottle that you see everywhere.
It's a good looking bottle.
And so today I actually looked it up right before I left the house and figured out why it's white and blue. I believe, I could be wrong, and I'm going to do some more reading about it, but white and blue, for all you Pennsylvania people who like college football, two gentlemen from, I believe, Penn State football started this company in Mexico. And so I read up on it, and I will say this, it is 100% amazing.
Now, do you drink that white out of the bottle?
I do not.
Okay.
I have not had an adult beverage out of a bottle other than a beer. And I don't drink beer. I think I've had probably 3 beers in 2 years. I don't know. But if anybody ever sees me drinking out of the bottle,
white out of the bottle?
Either stop me, run away, or I don't know. Something's not right, you know. But no, this is one of those things where if you mix, people drink. They make the margaritas, they make all these different things. I would say this was I think $40. That's it, and you could buy really crappy tequila for $40. But no, yeah, white out tequila. It was, 2 thumbs up and that. So
Sweet.
let's keep on with the
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Oh my gosh! For all of you who did not recognize that sound, by the way, that was the sound. How do I put this? That was the, like in cartoons or shows, whenever somebody comes on, there's that that key sound for that specific person. That was for Azula for Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Nice.
That was that was hers. So there you go. I forgot about my song. I gotta bring that up.
So I was I told you that. Non-car related, just conversation, right? I told you me and my nephew were playing Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
I'm really thinking about building an actual Avatar themed deck since they have the Avatar cards. Toph, the first metal bender, is my commander.
I have a keychain of Toph. She's
know.
probably my favorite character
on there. It was
there.
funny because the other day we were talking Avatar. Mm-hmm. I was like, I have a bad confession and you might not like me for it, but I loved the Avatar live action movie. You're like, that's how we got into it.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, we watched it, and it was a very interesting way to put things, with the elements, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Speaking of great, we're on that question that you kind of brought up: buying a car, new versus used. Have you ever bought a new car?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Absolutely. I've had the experience or the car itself?
Both.
I've been fortunate. In all honesty, I've been fortunate. This last car that I bought was a 25 Honda CR-V, I'm average height for a guy, 5'10", 5'11", whatever. You've seen Michaela. She's
Absolutely.
not a short girl.
She's
She is
tall.
all bit of 5'10", if not.
She's more than that because I'm like 5'9".
Yeah.
She's taller than me.
Yeah. And, we go on these 15-hour road trips to bowling tournaments or to karate tournaments, and me and my wife and 2 daughters, and she sits in the back seat, and that driver's seat's all the way back. And I'm like, are you good? She's like, I'm fine. I'm like, you sure? She's like, yeah. And the back seats recline a little bit. Mm-hmm. So she takes that pillow, she leans back, she puts on her headphones, and boop, she's good to go. But I've been very fortunate when it comes to new car buying and even used car buying. I got to be honest with you. Now there is one dealership that I'm not a huge fan of.
Carvana.
Well, that I don't know anything about, but the people that worked there were really cool. But the people in the finance department they
deal with numbers because they're not people.
Yeah, but it was the way this one gentleman talked. He just acted like he was so much better than you, and well, this, that, and the other thing. Because I was going to buy a used that Jeep, and I said, you got to do better than that. He goes, well, we're not a used car sales lot. And I looked at him, I said, really? He said, yeah. I'm like, because there's a used car sales lot right next to your new car sales lot.
Don't let them.
Him and I kind of had some words, and I knew the salesman pretty good because I bought a crew cab 3/4 ton diesel off him when I had my own company.
Car dealerships prefer to sell used cars than they do new cars.
Maybe now, but this guy was just being a.
Was this your Renegade?
Yeah. I love that little Jeep, man. Up until it hit 100,000 miles and it went down. But I'll tell you what, I never, ever, ever, ever had a problem with it up until then. Never. I didn't get stuck in the snow. And, we would leave class. We would get to class and there would be no snow. We'd leave class and be 6 inches of snow and everybody's freaking out. I'm like, just boom. I love that little thing. I can get any parking space, parallel park anywhere. I can do U-turns like you wouldn't believe.
I never told you, but that's on my top 5 least cool cars of all time.
Yeah, it is for a lot of people. That's actually why I used to call it my Barbie Jeep. And I did. And I would always just say that. Yeah, I got my Barbie Jeep. But
it was a Fiat, is what they were.
I didn't care. Like, I saw it and I needed something, and I jumped in it, and I sat. As soon as I sat, and I'm like, that's a nice seat. It only had 5,000 miles on it. It was like brand new.
Yeah.
Until I pulled it off the lot, went 100 yards, and a rock came up and,
Doink.
cracked the windshield, which, fantastic for me. But, even that little thing. Dude, I love that car. That was fun. It was a fun car.
I think the seat is the most underrated thing that people think about when they buy a car, but that's why I bought my Continental.
Oh, I've gotten in vehicles where I'm like, I get in, I'm like, nope. Like our work truck, our one truck, it's a 2019 Ford, 3/4 ton. I will not drive that truck. In fact, I won't drive a Ford truck. Commercial wise, I'll have to say commercial, because that's what I do. Work trucks. I can drive 5 miles down the road, and when I get out, my hips hurt like you would not believe. There's something with the seat. I don't know how they designed that seat. I don't know what chiropractic firm that they are in deal with, but it is literally, to me, it is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever been in. Now, Dodges, from commercial to whatever, love Dodge trucks.
See, I took a, I forget what year it was, probably, I would say it had to be like a 2010, 2011 Ram to New Jersey for Mazda training, and I hated it. But my wife's car, she has a Lincoln Corsair. It's a 2022 or 24, I can't remember, but her seat is the worst seat in the history of cars. Lincoln, what were you thinking? There is a lumbar support that hits you right in the worst part of my lower back.
Don't sit in the Honda then, because it's up a little high where you're like, what in the?
I like it a little bit higher because my arch is, but like my Lincoln, I have a million different adjustments on my seat, so I can suck that lumbar totally in. I can pull it out. I can change the way that the side pillows are grabbing my.
See, my Jeep went all the way from the tailbone up. In that Renegade. That Renegade had so many features in it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's what I like is right against that lower back, pushing. I'm not 20 anymore.
No.
I'm not even 21.
The seats in my Continental are heated and cold.
My wife's truck, the Dodge, it's heated and cold, and that is spectacular.
Yep. I thought I wasn't going to like the cold seats, but I changed my mind.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Because it's not cold.
Right.
It's like, hey.
It's vented. It doesn't make you feel wet.
Right.
Some of the cars I've been in with air-conditioned seats, you get up and you feel wet.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. We're buying new, buying used. That's what we're talking about.
So here's my question to you as the non-car guy. You go to buy a used car. A new car. Sorry. There's a new car. It is polished. It is clean. It is this. It is rust-free. It is this. It is great. It is brand new. You go to buy a used car. It is polished. It is clean. It is cleaned out. It is this, that, and the other thing. So other than personal preference on buying a new vehicle, because if somebody says, I'm going to go buy a new vehicle, they know what style they want. They know what brand they want.
Right.
But if someone pulls out that, their financial sheet and they're like, I'm not buying a new vehicle. I know what I want, but this is what I want to spend. And they go to a car lot, a used car lot. And there's a lot of shady ones out there. But what would you tell somebody, maybe like what's one of the first things you would tell somebody, hey, this is what you should look for? Look at?
Here is the problem, because it's actually now to a point where it's more in depth than the price tag. So we all know you're going to buy a brand new car, and that the new car, the average is 50 grand, right? You're going to pull it off the lot. It is now worth 30,
which is ridiculous.
I bought my Continental, the sticker on it.
Because if you lease one and that depreciation of that, and you lease it, and it's 3-4 years later, and you want to buy that car, they almost want to sell it to you for the same price as it was brand new.
Absolutely.
Even though it's 3 years old. So it's like, and that will lead me into another question.
Yeah.
Give me that pen.
So we're getting into a territory, though, where we have to think about buying new. What is it that I am buying? And the technology of the cars is actually rather terrifying to me.
You know how I am with it. I've seen Terminator.
Right. So I'm not so much worried about the government or Elon Musk or whoever's spying on me. But because we're at a point in society where everybody has to have Wi-Fi and a router and a modem inside their car, we have what's called secured gateways now in these vehicles, to where, as a mechanic, if you have a Dodge or some specific vehicles, you might not be able to use a Blue Driver on that car because they have what they call secured gateway, which locks you out from getting in. But the reason that was initially put there is because you no longer have a mechanical connection from your steering wheel to your steering rack. It's all sensors and electronics.
It used to be just
It was a shaft.
Yeah.
It was a shaft that went to a hydraulic power steering rack. Now it's all electric. So I turn my steering wheel. There's a sensor in my wheel that says you've turned it X degrees. I'm going to turn your steering rack X degrees. Jimmy McHacker says, hey, this guy's driving down the road 50 miles an hour. I can get into his car. Hacks you out. Now your computer is no longer talking to the car, and he is talking to your car from a laptop desk or his computer or whatever. He's making you go left. He's making you go right. He locks the doors. You're locked in your car. Your gas pedal.
Sci-fi movies are not that far off of realistic life, in my opinion.
And
they haven't been. So
this is reality. There are videos of people getting hacked into. Like it's an actual reality. So you're driving down the road. Your gas pedal, no longer is there a cable that goes from your pedal to your throttle body. It is all throttle by wire now. So you got to take the gas pedal out. That's great. You unclip a connector, you pull the pedal out, you put it back in, you pop a connector on. That's great. But if you want somebody to hack into your car, that's what you're paying for now. If you're driving down the road and one of those wires breaks, what are you going to do? You're getting to that point with brakes now too, where there's no connection from the brake to a brake master cylinder, and it's all electronic. You step on a brake, the pump pumps the brake fluid through your system. There's no actual connection. We've all, as mechanics, we've all seen mice chew through wires.
Yeah.
They make a lot of wiring now. The insulation on the outside is soy-based. So not only did mice like it before, but now it is a tasty treat for them. So, Panther. I just got back from my mission trip.
Yep. Panther, West Virginia.
I rented a brand new Ford Transit-Van, just like the one I have outside, only a little different. It had adaptive cruise control, so I'd hit cruise control. All of a sudden you're driving and it slams on the brakes because the person in front of you decided, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, it has that sensor of how far somebody is and all that. It'll slow you down and all that.
For some reason, when people drive on the highway and they're going to turn off, they think, I probably better come to 0 miles an hour before I turn.
I don't know why that ramp.
And then when they start turning, they finally put their turn signal on to tell you, I'm turning. And the van gets confused. The van also had brake assist for when you're backing up or pulling forward, so you don't smash into anything. But we're on this we're in the woods. We're on a gravel wood trail to get to this house, and I couldn't turn it around at one point because somebody parked right where my turnaround was. So I had to take a couple of the kids back to the school to use the bathroom in the house we were working on. It's Panther, West Virginia. They didn't have a bathroom suitable for me to have teenage girls use. So I go up the road, quarter mile, nothing there. Try to back up, and it just would not let me back up because there are tree leaves hanging down. I was like, nope, it was freaking out. We couldn't figure out how to turn it off. It took me 30 minutes to go a quarter of a mile down a gravel driveway because the man's like, no, you can't do this. There's something behind you. It was a leaf. ADAS. Let's talk about ADAS for a minute. We kind of touched on that. That's the driving system that allows adaptive cruise to work. It's what allows your car to drive itself down the road. It's the LiDAR, the radar, the cameras. I fix the equipment that is used to calibrate those devices. So all of that stuff. I am terrified to drive on the road because I've met the people who are doing these calibrations and nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody. So just so you know, if you buy new, what you're getting yourself into is the potential to not being able to scan it yourself, not being able to have your regular shop. Now, there are ways around the secured gateways. And the good technicians know the ways around there. There's back doors. There's always back doors. Is this for me to read?
No. I was just moving it.
So there's back doors. We can get around that, but you're not going to be able to get around not being able to hook up a scanner to your car. You're not going to be able to get around. You're driving down the road, and all of a sudden your steering wheel cannot communicate to the steering rack anymore.
A horse, you can get a horse for like $4,000. Mm-hmm. Of course, it costs you just as much as a payment to feed and board it. But.
So speaking of speaking of steering, can I tell you a really funny story?
Yeah.
So as a mechanic, you're going to love this story. Stay tuned for it. It's winter. Mm-hmm. This is back when I was at my old house and I had my Subaru. I had a 99, the car is irrelevant. My wife's at her parents' house. It's a snowstorm. I mean, we're getting hammered. I'm like, I'm going to head home. I got stuff I want to do at home.
All-wheel drive or four-wheel drive?
It was all-wheel.
Okay.
She had an all-wheel drive too, but I'm not. I actually have one of my pet peeves is all-wheel drive in the winter. I think front wheel. It's all about traction control, really, and my Subaru didn't have traction control at all because it was just an old thing. So like, you know what, I'm gonna get home before it gets too crazy, and I'm coming down this steep hill, and there's a Ford Ranger in the bank next to a telephone pole.
Okay.
So I'm like, I look, it's a young kid, and I'm like, and a girl, I'm gonna do the good Samaritan. I'm gonna pull over, I'm gonna help this kid out. So I'm like, get out, hey, what's going on? You all right? Man, I drove off, I hit this pole, it cracked my rim, I got a flat tire, I'm trying to jack it up to put but I can't find where to put the jack underneath it and this, and I'm, let me help you out. So I get underneath, and I'm covered in snow, and find a place, I start jacking it up, and I look. And the way that a steering rack works is we have, they call it the inner tie rod and the outer tie rod. So your inner tie rod screws into your rack, your outer tie rod screws on to the inner one. And as you turn the wheel, your rack just moves those two tie rods like this. It's on a gear. If this is your wheel and your spindle, and this is your tie rod, when you turn this way, it brings the wheel just like that. It pushes out. See how it's making my wheel turn. So I look, and his spindle is cracked, and his tie rod is hanging off of the spindle. So this is his wheel, this is his tie rod. He'd move the rack and it would go like this. Do you see the problem? We see the problem. The wheel's not moving. So I start putting it down. I'm like, hey man, I have bad news for you. Your spindle's cracked. This is your tie rod. You're gonna have to get a tow truck. He goes, no, I can drive anything. I'm like, what? What? Because I'm a mechanic. I can drive young kid. I can drive anything. I'm like,
but he couldn't fix his tire, and he didn't crawl underneath to see what was wrong.
I'm like, you couldn't jack up your car.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express recently, so I mean, I can drive anything too, I guess, right?
Right, but I'm like, you drove it into a pole with a good tie rod. He's like, no, I can drive anything. Just go ahead and jack it up and change that wheel for me. I'm like,
but you're a mechanic.
I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm gonna let you figure it out.
I'm out.
So
wow.
About an hour later, 2 hours later, might have been 3, my wife calls like, hey, I don't think I'm comfortable driving home. Do you want to come back up and bring me home? I'm like, absolutely. So I go up and I go that way, and he was on the other side of the road at this point because the car couldn't turn. He was just on the other side of the road.
No, did you wave? Did you beep and wave?
I beeped and waved, yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
What would I do at this point in my life? I'm going to run my Continental into the ground.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $50,000 for a car that's going to be worth $30 the moment I pull it off the lot for all this technology that I'm not going to use. Because if I have a car that can drive itself, which is what we're coming to, it is going to be mandated. It's not yet. They're saying that it's not going to be, but it will be eventually government mandated that every vehicle has to be able to drive itself. It is mandated that they all stop themselves. It's mandated that tire pressure monitors. They came out, it was mandatory in 2007 because they're afraid tires are going to go flat and vehicles are going to blow up tires. So the government said, you have to put this on here. Backup cameras are one of those things. You have to have these on there.
How did we make it this far before government got involved in every little thing? And we're not getting political.
Right.
But they need to stay the hell out of people's lives.
Is now a good place to tie in the technology discussion?
Go ahead.
So I do believe that we are going to be getting closer and closer to the point now where we don't own cars. And you get on your phone and you hit an app and a car drives up to your house when you need to go somewhere. I think you're going to put a Walmart order in, and a Walmart trolley thing is going to drive to your house and deliver you your groceries. If not that, you'll push a button on the car that you do own, it will drive itself to Walmart into the self-pickup, and they will load the car for you and it'll drive your groceries home. That's why I say cars that drive themselves right now are useless, because I have to get into it. So if I have to get into the car, why don't I just drive the car?
Because, well, now they're putting them sensors on it where they read your eyes and do all this stuff and all this crap. There's not going to be a construction worker out there that's going to be able to drive.
Right.
I mean, for God's sakes, you know, we're all working ungodly hours in ungodly heat, ungodly cold. You get in a vehicle and you try to start it, and all of a sudden this thing's reading your heart pressure and your eyes and everything. And it's like, you're not capable of driving. Like, just, yeah, I'm going to leave it there before I start getting, you know.
Granted, yes, humans are flawed. There's going to be accidents. You're never going to get around there not being accidents. But guess what? If the computer's driving the car, there's going to be accidents.
Yeah.
And the camera's going to see a ghost. Not an actual literal ghost, but something in the road that actually isn't there. It's a computer system. It is a system designed by flawed people. Did you ever see the movie I, Robot with Will Smith? Did you drive this car manually? I love that movie, by the way. That's one of my favorite future robot movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that is where the technology is going, is that there will be a point where you don't drive and the government will finally step in and say, yep, unlike Tesla, like right now where they say you have to, every however long you have to touch the wheel or be behind the driver's seat. Eventually they will say, yep, we're at the point now where you don't have to be behind the driver's seat. Take a nap, go to sleep, do all of the things. And the semi-trucks that will be driving down the road will be automated.
This is, yeah.
And you're going to have to pay for the technology.
This is nuts. Absolutely crazy.
I love the feel of a hydraulic steering. My Continental is electric. It's an electric rack, no linkage. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I don't like about it. When you're on a bridge, you can feel that the wheels, because you get on a bridge that has the little ripples, mm-hmm. and the wheels will kind of get into those grooves and it'll follow the grooves, and it gets very what I call nosy, mm-hmm. on the car, where you just feel like you're constantly fighting the nose of the car. Even when you're not on a bridge, electric steering racks are a lot more on the nose than an old hydraulic system where you have the weight of all of the things.
Yeah. So as you were talking about, fixing this and doing that, and you brought up mechanics and that, how do you find a good service shop? Like, what are you doing? Because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. So how does, someone, like me, who is not a, mechanic, is not a car person,
Now, outside of politics, I'm going to use the word politics. I have to answer the question politically because of the nature of my work.
Okay.
If my job sees me belittling certain places where we have customers, they will get mad at me. But I will say it's good practice, first and foremost, to avoid the big chain places.
I think most people would say that. That's the first thing that they would say. I mean, that's been in TV shows, for gosh sakes.
Well,
never take your car to this. Never,
I've been surprised at the amount of car people who are like, I just got back from blank, and I'm like, ooh.
Well, I know there's one that I will not only will I not buy from, but I don't care if they were the only service place.
You're allowed to say it.
I'm not saying it
because I could shake my head and
if they were the only one within 100 miles. If someone said, "Well, there's one, but it's like 100 miles away," all right. So there's one that I dislike that much, and it's a big old.
This is a very difficult question to answer, especially if you don't know about vehicles. There's one guy I trust, Lou at Verona Motors,
mm-hmm.
And I trust him because he's the only guy that touches my car.
That's what you told me that before, yeah.
When he touches my car, it is me and him doing it together because he lets me come in and I'm involved, and not I would trust him to do it by himself, because I know Lou is the kind of guy who wants to know why the part failed.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
yeah, he's not just, and in the automotive industry, there's a horrendous term called flat rate.
Okay.
And what that means is, as a technician, I'm going to do a job. Let's say I'm going to put a brake caliper on your car. There is a book that tells you on this particular vehicle, it should take you an hour and a half to change a brake caliper on this car. So that's what you charge the customer, is an hour and a half. So now it has become a game of beating the clock, which promotes doing the jankiest kind of work you can possibly do.
Yeah.
Especially when now your mom and pop shops, most of those guys will know that I'm going to have to fight rust and I'm going to have to do this. So the book is this, but I'm going to add this to cover the extra amount of time so that I'm not working for free all day long. And it
Right.
promotes, you might pay a little more for the job, but it's going to be done right. Dealership environment.
And I think that's what people want.
Yeah.
People, I can't say everybody, but people I know personally would not mind paying the extra for a job well done. Plain and simple. It's like going to a restaurant. You buy a steak, and it's, $57 for your meal. Here's your steak.
Yep.
You're like, what in
What's
the
that?
actual, and it's just the steak. There's no side, there's no potatoes, there's no nothing. And then you go to a diner. You walk in and you're like, oh, okay. You're looking at the menu and you go, wait a minute, is all this included in this service? Yeah. And it's $25 and you get a steak. You get potatoes, you get corn, you get this. My daughter and I went, Michaela, we went to a diner out near Somerset. And it was like a house, basically. I think our bill was like $50, $50-some. You should have seen the amount of food we had.
And it was a good time.
Right, it was absolutely fantastic. So I think especially when it comes to mechanics, this is one of those things that people do not realize. Us humans, we do focus on the money. We focus on money, money, money. Where is my money going? And I think that's the problem, is we can't see what we're paying for. So if we go to, we'll just call them big box stores.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to the big box store and they say, well, here's your printout and this is what we're doing. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I can see all these words and whatever else, and here's your total. And you go to the mom and pop store and they come out with a carbon copy receipt, brakes, this, that. I think that's part of the problem. I think they get comfortable with the big paper, with all the words, and we've gotten away from this.
Right. Now, one of the things that I'll mention is my job is fixing stuff. Like it's still my job. I just fix the stuff that they're using to fix your car.
Right.
So I'll have a customer who uses the machine all the time, but doesn't know how that machine works. And I show them, I'm like, here, come over here, let me show you. And it's convenient for me because I'm at their shop, so it's easy for me to do that. I'm like, check it out.
Right.
This is why the problem's happening. This component here is doing this when it should be doing that. Do you see that right there? Oh yeah, I do see that. Here's how this works. It is scanning the refrigerant that is coming into your machine and it is checking it out. But if this isn't functioning right, it cannot do that. Nobody has ever explained it to us like that before, is what I get all the time. And that's really the key, I think, comes down to, is the person willing to explain it in a way that you can understand it and willing to show you the part that failed. I had the first dealership I ever worked at, and this is why I'm not anti-dealership, but the dealership environment promotes the hackery more than the mom and pop shop does, because they don't have manipulation of the time like the mom and pop shop does. They have warranty times that even cut it down further. So I have a job that might take 7 hours and warranty is going to pay me 3 to do it.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that where it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and it's just the way it is. You can't be that. Some manufacturers will let you challenge it and try to get more time, and sometimes you come out on that. But the problem is that these mom and pop shops, they don't know all this stuff either. So like they're trying to figure it out because they don't get the dealerships. They get to see this every day,
right? And
the mom and pop shops don't. But because the mom and pop shops depend on you probably more than the dealerships. And I forget. I got lost somewhere what I was actually saying, but
no, you're right on.
It's just like what am I doing? I'm buying used. Where am I going? I'm going to Lou because I trust him. But what you need to look for is also a garage that isn't afraid of the technology because it's there. Whether it's my 2017 Lincoln Continental, and I hate to break it to everybody, but when I was working at the Mazda dealership up until 2012, I was doing camera recalibration. So even back then, it was here. We just didn't realize it.
Right.
And there's a lot of shops that I go to all the time. We're going to talk about tire changers for a minute. How long have tires been on vehicles?
Since vehicles?
Since vehicles. So I have a guy, I've been older people. I've been changing tires since before you were born. You can't teach me anything about changing a tire. Okay. And I leave it at that. And how much has your phone changed in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
How much tires have changed? A lot. And that old guy who's like, you can't teach me anything. I was at a tech school installing a new tire machine and balancer. The instructor goes, hey, we have a wheel that is a tire that's almost impossible to change. Can you demonstrate with this machine how to change it? Bring it in. Comes wheeling in. Now, on a rim, we have a piece of the rim that's called the drop center. Okay. So what you have to do is, if this is my rim and this is my tire, you take the tire and you drop it down into the drop center so it can shift over, and then this piece of the tire has enough room to clear the other side of the rim. Okay. It's hard to visualize.
No, I understand. I understand what you mean.
So 99% of the vehicles, the drop center is on the top of the wheel. So you face the wheel face up, you take it off. If you have a ridiculous offset, you see it on modified trucks all the time where the rim bolts here and you have a deep dish. Mm-hmm. On those particular styles of wheels, because that outside lip is so long, they put the drop center on the back. It's called a reverse mount. So he wheels this wheel out, and as soon as I see it, I'm like, all right, come on in. And I'm telling the students, because we had all the students there, I'm like, this is a reverse mount wheel. You can tell because of this lip, and if we flip it around, we can see the drop center here, and the instructor's like, question. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I've never heard of a reverse mount. What do you mean by that? I'm like, you're the instructor. No wonder you couldn't change this wheel. I'm like, so I explained it to him. I'm like, and I'm glad he asked, because we talked about asking questions before, and some people would never ask that question.
Just because you're in charge doesn't mean you know everything.
Right. So good for him to ask the question instead of being like, I'm the instructor, I should know this, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Right.
And he was tuned in to the demonstration because he was like, this is something new for me.
That's cool.
And so I flip it upside down, I change it. He's like, I can't believe you made it look that easy. I'm like, when you take it off the way it's supposed to be done, but you didn't have reverse mounts 30, 40 years ago. So that technician was like, you can't teach me anything. You can't teach me because I've been doing it longer than you. Okay, cool. It goes the same with balancing a tire. Actually, like, I would say that 99% of technicians actually don't know the science behind balancing a tire.
Okay, so we're talking about that. We've been talking about mechanics. We've been talking about the dealerships. All of that, to me, goes with and I brought up the financial guy and all that. It all goes back to the one thing that we all want at the same time also is that quality of human. We want that customer service part. And, when we're sitting there at the car lot and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden someone comes out and they're like, well, if you want this, it's extra, but it's warranted. If you want this, it's extra, and it sounds great. And with these new vehicles, it's very easy to go, yeah, that's fine. Cover every little damn thing because I don't want to worry about it. So let's get into the topic of customer service.
And that, I'm glad you asked, because when I was talking about the dealerships and I was like, I think I got sidetracked. The one thing I wanted to mention is customer service related. And that's where I was going and I got lost. But the first dealership I ever worked at was Chevy Mazda. And I was working on a particular vehicle, no big deal. And the service writer, after everything was done, the car was gone. He's like, check this out. I got you an extra half hour for fixing a coolant leak. I was like, I didn't fix a coolant leak. He's like, I know. I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah, like what?
I don't like that, because now my name's tied to this vehicle that you told the customer that there was a coolant leak that I fixed that I didn't. So now, number one, we robbed from that customer. Number two, if there is a coolant leak that develops, you just touched it. We just touched it.
Yeah. And then now it comes back to you.
Right.
Like, what?
But first and foremost, I don't want to rob the customer.
Yeah.
And that customer had no idea, because the service advisor was like, guess what? You got a coolant leak. We got to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's messed up. But, yeah, customer service nowadays is just crap. I mean, it's crap. And it's, you call somebody and they put you on hold. Then they come back and they transfer you to this person, then transfer you to that person. And in my opinion, and what they want is for you to hang up. They don't want to deal with you because either they don't know, they don't care, or they just whatever.
It's all of it.
It is. And it goes in life. Remember when we were kids and we didn't have cell phones? And you made that phone call. Hey, is so-and-so there? Even worse, you call a girl. So-and-so there.
And
no.
You call the...
No. Who is this? So you tell them your name. Does she have your number? No. So now you have to give their number. Well, I'll tell her you called. Okay. And then you wait. And then you go and do something, whatever. You come back. No, everybody's home. Nobody called. Okay, great. And now you're waiting and waiting. Now, day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. And then the phone rings and it's that person. And you're like, oh yeah, I was out, blah, 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 blah. I just saw your message. Back then, we were okay with it.
Do you ever hear the other phone pick up while you're on the phone with her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I got a story about that one. That was hilarious. That was actually funny. It was really funny. It wasn't like, oh my God, the scandal. Oh my God, that's so bad. No. It was hilarious.
You know.
But
they know. I'm going to leave that there.
But we waited and we understood that, that's just the way it was. When you would call customer service for a product back then, people would most of the time want to help you solve the problem because they were so worried about their name getting run through the mud. Nobody cares anymore. You call somebody, send a text message, call customer service, that 1-800 number or whatever, and you get, I love this new term, ghosted. You get ghosted by the people who are your friends, families, lovers, and customer service people. It's all the same.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody cares.
We have our work, we have monthly meetings, and it's the same routine. Guys, you need to be calling your customers when an order comes in. And my boss messages me. He's like, you're the only one that calls customers and schedules things. I'm like, well, I mean, that's my job.
Right. And that, I'm trying to figure out how to put this because it is your job. But the customer service people don't care anymore. You hang up, you call back, you get somebody else, and the same damn thing happens. you hang up again and you call back, and now you're fumed and you're mad, and now your family's there, so you're taking it out on them because you're mad, been there. And it's like, why? Why? Now, and that's an actual question to you, because you are kind of in that customer service part of the world. If you have this guy and this guy and this guy and this and this and this, and you have people calling you where you can very easily say, hey, I can't talk to you right now. I'm really busy. Let me call you back.
I think
Click, and
I think
you forget about it.
from the most part, what we see post-COVID, and I hate to use that term, but it's a thing. It's an actual thing.
I know it's a thing. I know it's a thing.
Post-COVID, manufacturers have decided that we're going to shift gears. Before we were selling, they took the Walmart approach. We're going to sell quantity for X profit. And now they've decided we're going to cut down selling quantity and quality, and we're going to increase prices, and we're going to sell less for more. And to shift gears, we'll focus on getting cheap labor, because we lost so many people during COVID and layoffs. We'll bring new people back that we can pay lower wages.
Yep.
They're not going to care, but it doesn't matter because we're still going to be making the same amount of profits. We're going to be selling less, so we're not going to have to make as much of it. And we're just not going to focus on getting the people the training they need, because if they keep shifting out and quitting and bringing new people in, we never have to worry about raises.
Right. It's messed up. The whole customer service part of just about anything is messed up.
And I think, it doesn't matter whether we relate it to cars or going to McDonald's, for crying out loud. But
that's where I was going with it. That's why I said it encompasses everything, whether it's in a personal way, a business way, a car way. It doesn't matter. It's all the same.
I'll make an absolute honest confession. I used to love going to McDonald's. I did, but post-COVID, the quality of service has been so bad that the last time I went was for a breakfast sandwich on our way home from Panther, because it was the only place we could stop at. And outside of that, I don't go to any fast food anymore. I'm healthier for it.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
No.
Sometimes that Wendy's kick, I'm like, oh, if I could go back and get the old spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's where it was that thick.
Yeah, so I miss the way it used to be.
Yeah.
But post-COVID, I don't think I'd ever, even French fries that are fresh out of the fryer were soggy. How do you have soggy fries that are fresh out of the fryer? It didn't make sense. What I miss the most is Burger King's old French fries.
Yes.
They were so good. And now they have those big, thick. It's not the same.
I don't know. I've had Burger King in my life. I remember having fries when I was a kid, but that's all I remember.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think
they had some kind of coating on them. It was they were so good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I've had Burger King probably twice and 2 or 3 times in my entire life. So
their fries used to be good. And I remember
but I know them commercials, man. They make that burger look good.
Yeah. When I worked at Bilco, which was the Volkswagen Mazda dealership, we're gonna get to that when we do brand rating. But there's a Burger King down the road, and I used to go there every so often. And then one day I went, and the fries were different. I'm like, must have just been some stock change. But no, lo and behold, they changed them for all of eternity. And it was one of those things when you love something and then it changes, and you're like,
I'm a fry guy. I love French fries.
So
Freedom fries. I'm not calling them French. They're freedom fries.
Not to get political, but I have a story for you. Do you remember whenever we had to go to anything French to being freedom during 9/11?
Yeah.
I was at a pizza shop, and in the bathroom there was a condom dispenser, and it had French ticklers, but somebody scribbled off French and put freedom on it.
I like it.
I was dying.
But yeah, the customer service sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sucks. And if someone's watching this and they are in customer service, for a living, please type something in and let us know, maybe we're looking at it wrong. and why we're looking at it wrong. I have no problem with someone, again, teaching me, like, am I doing something wrong? Am I saying something wrong?
On that statement, can I be bold?
I don't know.
What about customer service from the aspect of the customer? Because the customers get the employees so flabbergasted and frustrated that their mood changes.
Right, and the reason that the customer does is because you're calling for a reason, and the person that you're talking to doesn't know what the hell they're talking about anyways. So it's like, why am I talking? You're supposed to know the problem. You're supposed to know at least where to put me.
So,
and you don't.
Let me shift gears a little bit, because as my job when I was at Mazda and Volkswagen, I am a good people person, ironically. And when it came to, out of the 11 technicians that worked at the shop, I was the one that went on almost every single road test with every single customer. And we had customers that were just jerks.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. You could have said,
yeah,
here, I'm sorry that your tire was 1 PSI low. Here's a brand new car. Here's an upgrade. You're getting one that is valued $50,000 more than what you had because you had 1 PSI low.
Right.
And then still moan and groan.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah, absolutely.
So I think there is a stage where is customers, even if we are frustrated with the service, maybe we don't have to be that harsh, because let's face it, a lot of those McDonald's people, they're teenage students who aren't getting paid enough.
Absolutely.
And
no, I agree with that 100%.
But at the same time, like, that stuff happens to me, and I still offer superb customer service, regardless of how mad there was one time a guy had me so mad. I was trying to sell him an alignment machine. And he was like, well, this and that and this and that. I'm like, listen, guy, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. Here's the quote. If you ever change your mind, call me, but that's my number. I can't do anything else than that. I can't meet your expectations. And he pulled out his checkbook, wrote a check, handed me a check, and he's like, get it coming. I walked out, I'm like, I don't know what just happened. I was ready to leave, but I guess he was just waiting to see how far he could push me. But I did. I got pushed to the point where I was like...
Well, maybe he didn't want you to be a salesman.
Maybe.
Because there's that.
But too. I'm not a salesman either, so...
But there's that. There's, the customer side of the customer service is we don't always want to be sold something. We don't always want to be, given. We just want that bold truth. Right. A lot of times is, hey, here's my number. That's the best I can do. Are you sure? Yeah. Take it or leave it.
Here you go.
End of story.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. It does go on both sides, but I could say from only my side is when you do try to get a hold of customer service and they play that game of, hold on, let me get somebody. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me get somebody. And then it just irritates us so bad, because we know we're going to talk to somebody that's going to say, I don't know, I'm not sure, or can we call you back? And it's just like, no.
So our technical support, we have a technical support system in my job. Now, I'm the kind of tech where I have eliminated every single feasible thing that is at my disposal before I call tech support. I've gone through every flow chart in my manual. I've checked for power. I've checked for this. I've checked for that.
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
I've unplugged. That's the first thing. I've cut the zip ties to relieve stress. All of the things. And there's no answer to what I have. So I call technical support. I wait on the phone for 20 minutes, and I know, because I don't have the answer, they don't have the answer. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm better than I actually am, but I'm very good at diagnosing a problem and going through a flow chart and exhausting all of my options.
I can't wait to bring my quad back up.
Right.
You're going to be like, just sell it.
We're going to talk about we're going to get to the quad. So that's what
I've seen that on Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbuster.
The original Ghostbusters.
This is what we call a lab scope. So what this does is, sure, I can do voltage and resistance and that sort of thing, just like I can with my digital volt multimeter.
Okay.
But what this does more is it gives me waveforms. So I can connect it to a specific electronic component. And I can see, instead of just the voltage, I can actually see what my waveform looks like. Almost like if you're thinking about AC voltage, how you're having an oscillating up, down,
Yes.
positive, minus. So with this, I can test. This kind of goes back to customer service and finding a good mechanic. So many people, so many garages have this at their disposal. Whatever the word is, because they come with snap-ons, top of the end scanners. This was back in the day, but this is super ancient now, but I still use it because it's my favorite. It connects in, and you can have what they call a guided component test. So the scan tool will show you, oh, you have a 2007 Mazda 6. You're checking the crank angle sensor. This is what the connector looks like. This is where you're going to find the connector. These are the colors of the wires of the connector. These are the ones that you're going to back probe. This is what your waveform should look like. This is what the range is. You hook it up, you test it. Oh, cool, my crank sensor is fine. Oh no, my crank sensor isn't good. The difference between good customer service and bad customer service is, like I said with Lou, he wants to know what failed. Using something like this, the technician is able to test that component. So I hook up my Blue Driver, I hook up my Snap-on scanner, and it gives me oxygen sensor bank 1 lean. So many technicians will say, oh, Mr. Customer, yeah, we hooked up your car and your check engine light's on because you have a oxygen sensor bank 1 lean code. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace that oxygen sensor for you, since that's what the code's for. We'll get that in. It will be $568. Is that all right with you? Sure, that's all right with me. I trust you. Perfect, thank you. You hang up the phone, you put the oxygen sensor in, you clear the codes, you turn the car on, you drive it down the road, boom, check engine light comes back on, you scan it. It's the same oxygen sensor code as before. Just because your code says oxygen sensor, 9 times out of 10, that's an indication that your component works and that it's reading something wrong. Most of the time when you have a bank 1 lean code, you have a vacuum leak somewhere. So the way my car engine works is it's monitoring how much air is coming into the engine. It says, oh, cool, I have X coming in. I'm going to need Y amount of fuel to compensate for X amount of air. We're building a perfect air-fuel ratio, or as close to perfect as possible. Now, what the sensor monitoring the air doesn't know is that your intake manifold gasket has a leak in it. So as you have air coming in to the throttle body, you have air coming into the vacuum leak of your manifold gasket. So the computer hasn't seen the new air coming in. So your oxygen sensor says, oh, hold up. I was expecting X. I gave the machine Y. So I should have Z amount of air in this bank, but I have extra air that I didn't accommodate for. So we get an oxygen sensor fault because the oxygen sensor says something is happening with your air fuel mixture and I do not know what it is. Your average technician will see that, oh, it's an oxygen sensor code. I'm going to throw an oxygen sensor on it without finding the vacuum leak.
Okay, you brought up something. As you were talking about this specific thing, the oxygen sensor with the fuel. What's with fuel? Because we're all hearing a bunch of things about fuel now.
Okay.
This fuel, that fuel, this much water in this is allowed, this is this is that. I've seen videos where guys are like, oh, I got gas and drove a mile down the road and my car stopped.
We need to start off with the one thing that has been consistent with fuel since forever, and that's octane rating. Mm-hmm. What do you get at the pump? 87, 89, 93. just because it says premium on 93 does not mean you should throw your money away on buying 93 octane fuel.
Right. Because a lot of cars will tell you don't put this
Right. So
in it.
the big, and this is actually a misconception with car people too, and I explain it all of the time, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't understand why you're putting 93 octane in your bone stock 2012 Honda Civic. It is, just because it says premium, what octane rating is a fuel's ability to resist burning. That's it.
Okay.
So the higher my octane rating, the harder it is for that fuel to burn. So your 2012 Civic is actually getting less fuel mileage by not getting the best ignition timing out of its fuel.
Because it's working harder?
It's working harder.
Okay.
The reason we have higher octane ratings is vehicles that are high compression or turbocharged vehicles where we're jamming a lot of air into that cylinder. If you have a fuel that's very flammable, it can do what we call in the automotive world, it's dieseling. We all have heard of diesel engines, and how a diesel engine works is you have so much compression in it, you don't even need spark plugs. The compression is high enough to ignite that air-fuel ratio. So as you have a piston coming up in a bore, if I have a stock Honda Civic and I'm putting 93 octane in it, my piston comes up and my fuel is not igniting at the exact time it's supposed to. So I'm losing horsepower by not generating my burning enough. Now, if I have a boosted car, I'm running 16 PSI into a cylinder with a turbocharger. Now what I'm doing is a naturally aspirated car is getting, ideally it would be getting atmospheric pressure from the vacuum of the engine sucking in the air by itself. But with a turbocharger, we are using the expanding exhaust gas to spin a turbine wheel, which in turn is connected to a compressor wheel that is just sucking more air into your engine. That's how we're getting more power. The more air we put into the engine, the more horsepower you're going to get, the more fuel we need to burn that extra air too. Remember, the computer's trying to get that perfect mixture of, if I have X air, I need Y amount of fuel. So the more air, the more fuel. Makes sense? Yeah. So now I'm jamming a lot more air and a lot more fuel. I need that fuel and that air to burn, to be more resistant. I don't want it igniting while my piston is still coming up, because now I'm going to have forces pushing down on the piston while the crankshaft is trying to push it up. So now we have to get into fuels that detonate a lot later than they would in a stock, whatever, a stock Miata, even a V6 Mustang. My V6 Mustang, when I was a kid, I put 93 in it all the time because I said, oh, the number's bigger and it says premium right on the pump. But it's all about, what does the manufacturer tell you? My Continental, it's a 330 horsepower twin turbo 2.7 V6. Lincoln tells you they use 87. I use 87.
So mine says 87.
My Honda CBR 954RR crotch rocket that I sold, they said put 90 or 87 in it. So I put 87 in it. My Harley, they say put 93 in it.
Guess what my diesel truck told me to put in it?
83.
Nah, diesel. Oh my gosh. But yeah, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So nobody does.
Yeah. Simple questions.
Yeah.
Again, asking questions.
I'm very, actually, like, if you can't tell, I'm very passionate about the octanes, because I was dumb. I wasted so much money putting 93 in a car. My Harley, they
okay, let me ask you this. So you have your regular, your mid, and your premium, right? Is it the one? I saw a thing where someone was saying maybe it's the premium, that it's the regular and the mid that go into each other and go into the.
No.
Did you ever see that?
That's funny.
We were like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't even make sense.
My RX-7 takes 93.
Okay.
Because it's boosted. I'm running 16 pounds into a rotary engine. I need that fuel to burn at a very specific time.
Okay.
when it hits the combustion chamber. So like that car is even vehicles like, let's say I have my Civic and I modify it. At that point, you're going to know what to put in it, because if you're doing the modification, you know enough about cars, hopefully, to know that you need better fuel.
Yeah.
And better fuel is the wrong term, because it's not better. It's just, it burns different is what it is.
Okay.
You know, it's like we're so worried about what we feed ourselves that nobody thinks about. And especially right, like gas is ridiculous. It's over $5 a gallon for 93 at most gas stations, and you don't need it. You don't need it if you're driving a bone stock.
So what would be, as we're talking about that sort of stuff, what is, like, for, you know, average person here, what is your recommendations for like maintenance, like simple maintenance to keep it going and going and going? Because that car I've had it for a year and I got almost 30,000 miles on it. No, 2 years, last year. When did I buy it?
Number one, synthetic oil. It's not a hype. It's not a gimmick. It's real.
Okay. Well, good, because I do that. I'm going to give myself a point.
Yeah. So whenever you've torn down two different motors, let's say they both have 150,000 miles on them, you can tell which one was synthetic and which one was conventional. Like the moment you take the valve cover off, you know, because the conventional motor is stained and tarnished. The synthetic one always looks brand new, as long as the oils on both of them have been changed when it's supposed to.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to cut you off real quick. You're talking about oil, and you said changed when it's supposed to. Some garages say 3,000. Some garages say 5,000. I even have been told 7,000 miles. So is it 3,000, 5,000, or 7,000? Because everybody is basically being told to use synthetic oil now. So just out of, and I don't think anybody, you know, who watches this or even myself is going to be like, well, Andy said.
Yes. So I'm comfortable at 5,000. I use Mobil 1. Okay. The Mobil 1, they recommend that you can go 20,000 on it. I still change at 5. My old Mazda 3, I put 50,000 miles on that car every single year. Okay, so I mean,
queso.
Love yeah,
queso.
I think there was one year I put 60,000 on it, and that's a lot.
Still haven't changed oil.
That's a lot of oil changes, right?
Yeah.
If we're doing in 1 year, on that car there were times where I went 15,000 miles. So don't do it. Okay, don't do. Andy did not tell you. I'm just saying that.
Andy told me to do
that. I just couldn't. I couldn't change my oil, and I mean, I was checking it. I was topping it off when it was getting low, because you're gonna burn oil.
Yeah.
That car is still on the road and has almost 260,000 miles on it, and I can count on one hand all the non-wear item parts that I've replaced on it.
That's wild. So, and when I'm talking about maintenance stuff, I don't mean brakes.
Right.
I'm not talking about brakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
so
to me, there should be more.
We're used to the tune-up.
It's funny, I just used that word.
Tune-up. That doesn't exist anymore. There's no such thing as a tune-up. It's
my next band name.
Yeah, the tune-up. I'll play bass.
There you go.
So
play the electric triangle.
Ooh, cowbell?
No, just the electric triangle.
What was I talking about?
We were talking about oil. We were talking about basic.
It's late. We've never done an episode this late before.
It is.
Okay, so
it is. I don't know if I've been to sleep yet. I had a rough night of not sleeping. So
does that say an hour and 43 minutes already?
Yes, it does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're barely. I thought this
queso. Let's go.
Queso. Okay.
Let's go.
Lightning round.
Green.
Lightning round. I lost it again. Oh no.
Anyways, we were just talking about simple maintenance.
Okay.
No, that's where I was going.
Ignition coils. I could talk about this all day, which is the problem. Ignition coils, spark plugs. I'm at 93,000 miles on my Continental. It's on the back of my mind. I have to do those. Once upon a time, Megan and I were coming home from a wedding. It was in North Carolina. And we're coming down 79 right outside of West Virginia. So we're coming down, and I'm doing 65. And her car just, boom, engine light came on, and limp mode. Limp mode is you're going 5 miles an hour on 79.
I know. I have a work truck that does that every once in a while. Nobody knows why. I've had it to 2 garages. Nobody knows why.
What kind of work truck? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
So I pull over, and it's I'm like, what's happening? Like, it's a misfire. There's a misfire. So it's raining. I get out, and I don't have a blue driver with me, so I can't scan it for codes. Don't have a toolbox. But luckily, it's a Mazda, so like everything's super easy. I take the hood off, and what I do is when I have a misfire and I don't know which cylinder is the problem, I unplug one ignition coil. It gets worse. Plug it back in. Unplug it. And you just go until nothing changes, because I know that's the bad cylinder. So found it. It was number 4.
Okay.
Of course. All right. We got a bad number 4 coil. And needed a 8mm socket. We call the tow truck. Tow truck drives me to Napa, get a socket, call Mazda, because there's a Mazda dealer right off of 79 at the time that I knew of. Called them. Yeah, we have one, but we need to get you scheduled to get it diagnosed properly. I'm like, listen, I don't care. I just want to buy a part. Customer service, right? Listen to what the customer is telling you and just sell them no, we got it. Eventually they did, and they're like, well, we'll see you back in here to schedule the appointment when that doesn't work. So pull the old coil off, put the new one in, fires right up, engine lights nice and smooth, take it off the tow bed. I go in, I'm like, see ya, never again.
Right.
Drive down the road. But that's one of those things where if I know I have a couple good ones at that point, I save them in the car just in case I have an ignition coil emergency. Those are usually the first thing that will go on you in a car is your coils will wear out, or your spark plugs, and change your spark plugs frequently, have a backup coil.
So in the vehicles, they all have the book that all have the scheduled maintenance on there. I would assume that that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
The scheduled maintenance part. Which I don't know how many people have read it. I have not. It's kind of like reading my Tang Soo Do manual.
Yeah.
It's not interesting.
Brake fluid is a big one that gets neglected because your brake fluid absorbs moisture. And the purpose of brake fluid is to not have moisture in it, because as you heat up your brakes, that heat transfers through your whole brake system, and you can boil the brake fluid if there's moisture in it.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to use .4, .3. There is such thing as .5. That is a military thing. You can't use it in modern cars because of ABS. I use it in my go-kart. I use it in my Harley because my Harley doesn't have ABS, so I don't have to worry about changing it as much as you do on a regular vehicle.
Okay. All right. Here's another one.
Yep.
Okay, you ready? This is one of my favorite ones. Windshield wipers.
I use Rain-X.
And it's not on here. I just turned it over just to see what else was coming up.
I usually buy Rain-X wipers, and then I just...
My work trucks have Bosch.
Yeah.
And I've always ran Rain-X. But somehow, some way, we ended up with Bosch, and I'm like...
They're pretty good.
Well, because I use some of their demolition tools, too. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
A lot of times, too, wipers are one of those things I don't like to buy. I Rain-X my windshield itself.
Oh, my dad used to do that.
Yeah.
That was kind of like his thing.
Yeah.
He was just Rain-X. I don't even need windshield wipers.
Right. And anytime I'm going on vacation, long road trip, Rain-X.
I really got to start doing little stuff like that. I don't. It's not my thing.
I love to prep my car for a road trip.
Yeah?
Clean the interior,
clean
the leather.
I do. I definitely do that because I'm going to be in.
Wash it, wax it. I do the whole ordeal.
Whoa! We're not waxing anything.
You get better fuel mileage. It's not a gimmick. It's not a gimmick.
Now we're just getting into MythBusters territory.
No, I'm telling you, it's not a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick. If you wax it.
Mm-hmm. It's more aerodynamic.
I got a shiny new quarter. if you want to wax that CRV, I tell you what, you know. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Okay, another question. As we were talking about oil changes and tire rotation. Everybody always says those two things should go together. Yes, no.
Depends on your car. Depends on how you drive your car.
Okay, me, it takes me 20 minutes to get to work. Okay, but it is a lot of this to getting back and forth to work.
I'm okay with rotating your tires every other oil change.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm okay with that. All-wheel drive. I need to bring this up.
I was gonna ask you because that's what I have. I have all-wheel drive.
We've heard the rumors. If you change one tire, you have to change them all.
I love that one. That's my favorite.
It's truth.
Really?
It is absolutely true.
So I got that one Mud Runner tire on the one side, and then I got this stock one. I'm joking, by the way.
You will burn out your differential because the differential, each wheel will be spinning at a different speed. The car is trying to spin those at the same time, which is what your differential does. And the purpose of your differential really is when you go around a turn, your outside wheel has to travel a larger distance than your inside one.
Right.
So
it's like running track. Yep.
It has to be able to change the rate at which that speeds. That happens in turn whenever you have a smaller diameter and a larger diameter tire on your car. That differential is constantly at work. And when you have all-wheel drive, now it's amplified because you have the front, you have the back, and you will be putting a $8,000 transmission or transfer case in your car if you don't do it. It's
the
truth.
More you know.
That's
motor oil. Is there a difference in motor oils? Like we got, Pennzoil, Castor Oil, Mobil 1, Valvoline, Fram.
Don't do Fram.
I'm just saying, like, so there is a difference then,
especially the filter, like the oil filter. Do not buy a Fram filter.
I was gonna get into that second, but I mean,
Subaru is notorious for their filters are their OEM filters are the exact same quality as Fram. You tear them apart, it's just paper. It's
air filter or
oil filter. Oil
See,
filter.
I mean, how many people? You might, but there's not a lot of people I know anymore that change their own oil. I used to love doing it because it was like the one thing I could do.
My Continental has a twist-in drain plug. You just turn it and pull it out.
Oh, nice.
It's nice. I change it every 3 oil changes. I put a new plug in it.
So there is a difference in oil brand.
That's going to be more of a hearsay kind of thing.
I'm only going off of because you just said, like, don't use Fram.
Well, filter-wise, I don't think Fram actually makes motor oil.
They're just the name on it.
Yeah,
Fram used to be like the name back in the day. I'm like, that's what we grew up with. And then it was like Fram. Well, like you had STP, you had Fram, and then you had the Purolator. See, I do know something about cars.
Do.
How about that?
Right.
Wow.
Don't buy Fram.
Okay.
Why do I use Mobil 1? My Mazda 3 has 260,000 miles on it, and it's still going. The body's rotting out on it. I gave it to my nephew. I bought that car.
The body's running out. Here you go.
Well, so I bought the car. I bought it used because that's my answer to the newer used question. I'm going to buy used now every single time.
Yeah.
My magic number is up to 60,000 miles. I'm not that worried about it because.
Interesting. Okay.
My Lincoln had 60,000 miles on it when I bought it. The sticker on it brand new was 60,000. I bought it for 29.
Okay.
So I probably could have gotten one cheaper, but I trusted the dealership I bought it off of. I used to work there.
Yeah.
I did buy it used off of a dealership. Now, but oil, I've used Mobil 1 and everything, and I don't replace engines.
I used to use Pennzoil for everything.
I used to use Castrol and everything.
That was the next one.
If I couldn't use Mobil 1, I would use Castrol.
Mm-hmm. Now I go to the Valvoline dealer. Mm-hmm. I go to the Valvoline place. What do you want me to do? You know my schedule. When am I going to have time to go anywhere else? You tell me where else I can go, and I will go.
Do you go to the one down here?
Which one down here?
The Valvoline by...
No.
Can I tell you a story about the Valvoline down here?
No, you can tell me later.
It's good for our viewers.
Okay, go ahead.
My work van, they get to work because it's not mine.
Right.
So, Valvoline, I'm like, just oil, nothing else, please, nothing else.
Yeah.
Please. And I'm sitting there, it's like, good news, we sold a coolant service and they're already hooking up the machine. I was like, I didn't want that. And then halfway through, he goes, we don't know how to use the coolant machine. So I was there for 2 hours. And I left with him saying, just keep an eye on it because it should be good, but we don't know.
Oh my gosh. No. See, the one that I go to,
They left my air box disconnected when they put an air filter in it.
Wow, that's awesome. See, I take my work trucks to a certain company, and I've taken both of our vehicles there, and I like them. They're really cool. It's like family owned, and I trust them.
Okay.
When I can't get there, I go to the same Valvoline place. They know me because we take our trucks there whenever we can't get them. I mean, they're work trucks. We can't just drop them off and have everything rotated and everything is, And
I am allowed to talk about Valvoline because we don't sell stuff to them.
well, the one guy before we drove up to Minneapolis, he was like, hey, he goes, your air filter isn't bad, but you're probably going to get better gas mileage if you change it. And he showed me, and I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. That's cool. And when I bought the car, okay, it said, average gas per mile, you know what I mean? And it was, when I first bought it, it was at between 27.5 and 29, usual. And I never paid attention to it after that. Like, I just kind of look at it, okay, whatever. But before he said that, I remember looking at it going, why is my, miles per gallon, that average, going down? Like, what the hell? He puts a new one in it. It's steady, 29 to 29.2. And it never dawned on me. So, like, I go to that one because I know those people.
And that's good.
But I don't go to you won't see me go to like a brand new one or a different one. There's two that I go to.
I think that's what makes the discussion of who do I pick hard, because I have all those pre-assumptions of most of those places, and that doesn't mean that they're all bad.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, we are just going and going and going.
We probably better.
We wrap this up. Oh, hey, by the way, Humphrey Bogart, The Big Sleep.
Is that your
watch it?
Your recommended movie?
That's my movie. It is absolutely awesome detective movie, and it's fantastic. Humphrey Bogart, Big Sleep.
I have two.
Oh, you have two.
Ford versus Ferrari. We talked about it. I had to go with car movie.
I figured
I had to go with the car. But
hey, there's a Packard in this one.
I know. Don't judge me.
Judge him.
I actually absolutely.
They're already judging.
I love this movie.
Okay.
The live action Speed Racer. I don't care.
I've never seen it.
Do you have a Blu-ray player? Does this have a DVD in it?
I don't know. I don't know.
It does.
I have a Blu-ray.
Digital copy, DVD.
When am I going to watch that? Never.
You have to.
I don't have it's nuts. Remind me. We need a note. This winter I will borrow it and I will write it, because when winter time comes,
it's fun.
After November, I will have time.
It's fun.
Believe it or not.
They spoof the cartoon a little bit, and then they add in stuff to the new cartoon too, which isn't as great. But the movie is still awesome, and I love it.
Okay, that's awesome. Song? Oh, that's right, my song. So I gotta pull this up because I think it's an AI song. I think it's one of those new type of things that's coming out, but it's a band called it went away. Yearnblod, JERNBLOD, Yearnblod, and it's Running with the Wolves, or Run with the Wolves. Sorry, and it is one of those songs where you can listen to and you can picture the mountains and the snow-covered trees and the wolves and the cold and all that good, northern cold stuff that I love. And I know it's AI. It has to be. The dude's voice is really cool. It's low, it's grumbly, it's very Norse Viking type of thing. but the female voice, I told you this, that voice hits a note, it hits a tone, it hits a frequency where literally I get goosebumps because it is so good. So good. And there's certain female singers that have done that, at least for me, you know, my love of music.
There's a song I sent you a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Neon Rain. I'm pretty sure that's an AI band too.
It probably is. But you got like Amy Lee. Amy Lee hits a certain voice, certain tone that I'm like, oh, Tarja. Tarja hits that note. Well, she's pretty much an opera singer.
Yeah.
So she hits a note. Flori Jensen hits a certain note. Simone Simmons hits a certain note. Like all these operatic, you know, metal singers, they hit these notes, and I could feel it. I can literally feel it in my soul. And this song, Run with the Wolves, is get you going. Makes you want to go on an epic adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to pick a song. And
Everything is awesome.
Well,
I already did that one.
I don't think I've ever heard a song that has more F word in it than this song. This is probably takes the cake with the F word being used the most.
Okay.
But in the theme of cars, I have to use it because I used to play it nonstop when I first got my license. And it's Adam Sandler's Piece of Shit Car.
Oh God, everybody knows that song.
Right, everybody knows it. You know,
you
but
said
it's
F words. I'm like thinking, I don't know, man. I've listened to some early Body Count, like Ice-T when he first came
but
out.
Like
with his
every
metal
other
band.
word in Piece of Shit Car is effing car,
Yeah,
F
you're
you
right.
car,
I
F
forgot
me.
the spring coming out of the seat.
It pokes the balls.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
I have to. I mean,
You know, it's a car theme.
yeah.
So if anybody has stuck around this long,
Everybody has.
for this episode,
Food.
food. Oh yeah, food.
And then we're done.
My wife just made shepherd's pie,
Nice.
so I'm going with shepherd's pie because it was absolutely insanely fantastic as usual. That's usually a fall thing for me,
Yeah.
but yeah, shepherd's pie. And I don't know. Michaela just made this banana bread the other day, last Saturday. I don't know. She definitely did not measure the chocolate chips that she puts in her banana bread. They're the little ones. She didn't measure it by cup. I think she measured that with her heart because it was like
Oh yeah.
slop. Just you taste it, and it was. We took it to an event, okay, where there was catered food. There was one piece left. Like people were just grabbing
Nobody
it.
wanted to grab the last one.
I did.
wanted,
I gave it to somebody. But yes, so yeah, shepherd's pie and
Nice.
Michaela's chocolate chip banana bread.
We got back from the mission trip on a Saturday, and that
Yeah,
Sunday
we talked that night.
Yeah, we went to the Sunday after church. We went to the Rockefellers, and I'm starting to change my opinion on them. They're not that great. Like,
Okay.
you know, even the burger. You know, the time we
That
met
one
there.
you love, yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been there 3 times.
So I
and
wanted
two of
some-
them were
yeah.
with you.
I wanted something different, and they had French fries smothered in pot roast and gravy, and that
Which
was
sounds
fantastic.
great, yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Okay.
Yeah, like now I'm back on the. I want to go there, but that's probably
Because
the
remember,
only
I
thing I'll
told you
get.
I had that sandwich, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'll go to Sheetz and get a better chicken
Yeah.
sandwich. You know, so.
good.
But anyways, hey, put on there if anybody's still watching. Type in there. What do you want, episode wise? Like, what do you want us to ramble about and rant about and talk about things we probably don't know? And
The
maybe
last
some
few
things we do
episodes
know.
really haven't been a rambling, and I guess kind of, but I think we
Well,
need
the first 2 were.
I think we need another
And the
one.
second
like
one,
the first.
the second one, I'm totally blaming on Freya because she was the one that was just like, "You need to talk about yourself more." I'm like, "I thought we did." So
Right.
that one is hers. That's her fault. So that's what I'm going with. I'm blaming her.
I've been encouraged by the things going on.
Yeah, no, I actually did reach out to some people and ask them, and I got some really cool answers.
Nice.
You know, so I'm not complaining. And episode 5 is here and gone. And it was interesting. I can't believe the amount of stuff that I actually kind of knew about vehicles and the stuff that I learned. And I hope everybody.
And the stuff we didn't have
Definitely.
time. So if you have questions, drop them down in the comments too, because I'd love to talk about it in the comments.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, 'cause
I know 2 of my buddies. I'll be shocked if they don't say something or.
I think we did a good job of not answering any of the questions while answering them.
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what We're
If you want to buy a new car, you don't care what I think.
Yeah, no. The used car thing when you said 60,000 miles, that blew my mind.
That's me. That's my number.
But you know what I mean. So no, that's cool. Like I would have never guessed that number. Is what I'm getting at.
I think a lot of it too determines what's it look like underneath. Is it rotted out? Because
yeah, there is that.
I'm not good at the body work, so I can't do any of that. So if the car's like totally
Get
rotted,
some duct tape. You're fine. Gorilla tape. Paint it. Well, that's the worst that can happen.
fiberglass. I'm classy.
I use Elmer's glue and throw some paper mache in it. We're good.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to episode 6. 6. Keep thinking.
Like a tinker.